Welcome into the Sports Buffoons podcast. On and back again to the Sports Buffoons studios here out of Lenexa, Kansas, of course. Welcome on in back again. Tanner is cracking his ass up for some reason. He does every goddamn intro.
Your intro, man, it cracks me up. It cracks me up.
Why?
You know, I tell you week in, week out, unmute your freaking self during the intro, and you just
I was letting you
forget
do it, man.
to do it every
I was
time.
letting you handle all that business.
I can't do it for you. I can't do it from here.
Hold on. You're telling me as a producer, you could start the show, but you can't unmute me?
I can't unmute you during the videos.
That's ridiculous.
It won't.
StreamYard
will not let me do that.
I'm just here trying to invite the ladies and gentlemen into the show. I'm not here to press buttons. All right.
Same.
So
it just cracks me up.
Whatever you want to make of that. That's all. That's all I gotta say. So, anyways, guys. We got the full clan with us, of course, today. Tanner's in his square spot where he was at last week, but this time he's, of course, back in Oklahoma. JG, we got you over here to my right. So what's going on, man?
Man, I feel horrible, man. I'm trying to figure out, like, I know it's a holiday weekend and whatnot. I'm trying to figure out why all these freaking cops are out today. Like, I've got the day off tomorrow. Everybody's got their different schedules, and you know, some people had today off, so it's a freaking Tuesday or whatever. But it feels like it's a holiday weekend, and I'm trying to figure out what all these cops are doing driving around, man, because they're kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Well, yeah, they have a lot of free time. They're trying to get their duty in before the holiday begins, I would say. You know, what's funny? I bet you go out Thursday and there's no cops anywhere. But today, yeah, everyone was being pulled over throughout the day. I mean, it was pretty wild from the get-go. So I noticed a lot of it. I don't really have a reason why, but we saw it.
Guys, I got breaking news. Culver's is heading to Vegas.
Why does that matter when there's In-N-Out Burger anyway? Like, who cares?
Well, because Tanner worships Culver's like an actual god. Like,
yeah,
Culver's way better than In-N-Out.
No, that's
Tanner.
That actually just changed his life. I know you don't. Most of the audience doesn't understand.
Now he wants to go to Vegas.
No, I
don't
want to go to Vegas.
He's going to have to change his mind on going on an airplane or being afraid of it or whatnot.
No offense, Tanner. I'm glad you're excited about Culver's and their business habits, but for me, it's like if they don't, In-N-Out Burgers out there, why would I care about Culver's? I don't really get it.
It's better than In-N-Out.
I knew he was going to say that. I could bait his ass into saying some shit like that. That's ridiculous.
You don't have to bait me to say it. I love this. Like, Culver's is way better than In-N-Out.
No, I absolutely love Culver's, but you will never catch me, dude, trying to eat that stuff out in Vegas. That's never going to happen. That's a waste of time.
So many better places out there than Culver's anyway. It's like ridiculous. Might as well put Brahms out there. Who cares,
I mean, in Kansas City, like,
let's freaking go.
Kansas City, your Culver's is top 3, top 5, however you want to rate it. So it's up there in Kansas City, but in Vegas, like, it's probably a freaking bottom feeder at that point.
Why would you go to Culver's when they have Shake Shack? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's kind of what I would.
Culver's would be a bottom feeder.
Because Culver's is closer to where you probably live.
They'd be like the Las Vegas Raiders, in the NFL. Like, they're a bottom feeder when it comes to burgers if you put them out.
No, that's Whataburger. I think you're confused with Whataburger.
Whataburger sucks ass. Is there a Whataburger in Vegas, Tanner? Do you know anything about that?
I have no idea, nor do I care to find out.
I don't think there is, and I hope there's not, because Whataburger.
I don't care for it. I'm not going to look for it
anywhere else other than wherever the hell it's at right now, and it should be taken away slowly. But, anyways, that's a different topic for a different day. We've dove into, but. Anyways, Tanner, I'm proud of you for being happy for the franchise that you've invested in, which is Culver's. So that's good.
Well, my Culver's, man.
So other than Culver's, Tanner, how you doing, man?
Good solid week here. We coming off the dub. KU is 2-0 in the Las Vegas tournament. It's a weird tournament, by the way. So just because you win doesn't necessarily mean you get to play for a championship spot. So the points are a big deal and everything else like that. The Tennessee-Houston game really, unfortunately, hurt KU because KU only scored 69 points. I think it was a nice score today on their dub, but Tennessee ended up scoring like 77. So we'll have to see what happens. It's a weird tournament. So just because you win isn't good enough in this tournament. So, but KU's 2-0 this week here. Hughes, got the dub. It's holiday week. The only bad thing is that the S word is being thrown around this weekend, and I do not like hearing that. So,
Okay. Well, sounds like we're ready to roll, I guess. I think that as far as Chiefs topics go here today, we got to be somewhat excited about what went down over the past weekend. Because it was kind of a do or die situation where if the Chiefs had taken a loss, fallen to 5-6, I think that we'd be sitting here talking about the draft or pitchers and catchers and the Royals or whatever the case may be as far as the rest of this year goes and looks like. But we're right now, this whole season at this point has turned into a playoff situation going forward where you can lose one game. You could get away with one game. But at the end of the day, you got to pretty much run the table from here on out to get where you want to be. So, Tanner, you and I were at the game with CDAWS, of course, at the Chiefs-Colts game. I thought the atmosphere was pretty good. I know we were sitting up a little higher than most, obviously. But at the end of the day, the Chiefs got it done. It was not pretty. It was not fun, actually, in a lot of ways. It was actually a big pain in the ass of a game to watch and witness. But I'm just curious, and before we dive into Thanksgiving Thursday Chiefs Dallas Cowboys topic, what you guys have to say about the recap of Chiefs versus Colts?
Sorry, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, man, it was very painful to watch. Being down by 11 in the fourth quarter, playing like that against, obviously it's a good team. It's not like you're down by 11 against a crappy team, but it's like you never had the lead the entire game. And I just think that, they basically played to the script of what I was telling you guys on last week's show, which is like they're not playing like the Chiefs, which means their season is going to be over pretty soon. And I actually still believe that. Like, they didn't show me enough actually in that game to make me believe that they're going to flip the script here. They might still make the playoffs and win one single playoff game, but that's still a failure. And ultimately, I still think that's what's going to happen. But, being down by 11, fumbling the ball in the red zone, and then all of a sudden something happens. They just turn it around. You got the 87-yard drive to end regulation. That's when they started to look like the Chiefs again. But I mean, why do I have to sit there and watch this? Like, why do they have to actually have their backs to the wall, which is how it's going to be from here on out before they start to play? It boggles my mind. I don't understand why, like, you have to have your backs to the wall before you start to play. Because up until that point, I mean, it was ugly, man. And I think obviously the defense, we saw them step up in key situations. But honestly, like the pass rush, dude, we're screwed, man. Like that, you're not going to have a pass rush. Like, it's going to be kind of on and off the rest of the season. It's not going to be dependable from week to week. And honestly, I think probably the pass rush will end up being the Achilles heel. But I will give the Chiefs credit, because they stuck to their running game, which is something that we've been begging them to do for weeks now. They finally did it, but honestly, man, you could have had me. I could have called plays. You don't need Andy Reid to do that. I could have told you to run the ball. I told you that last week. So it's kind of like, I mean, I thought Spags called a great game, especially there at the end, but it doesn't take a freaking rocket scientist to get out there and say, "Oh, wow, we're gonna pound the ball with Kareem Hunt." Well, no shit, Sherlock. Like anybody could have told you that. So I'm just, The Cowboys, I feel like that could be a pivotal game because, obviously we got to play Denver again. I do believe that Denver's a good team, but, after you play the Cowboys, you're going to have a few cupcakes here and there. And I think that Dallas, this is a statement game for the Chiefs because, yeah, technically, if you want to talk about the math, sure, you could lose to the Cowboys and still make it to the dance. But again, I don't necessarily want to see that. I want to beat the good teams. If we drop a game, I would rather it be to one of the crappy teams. I want to beat every single good team that's left on the schedule. And that's how I want to make to the playoffs. And I know it's probably not going to happen that way, but hey man, we'll see what happens. The Chiefs got it done, and they beat a really good team. And so at the end of the day, as pessimistic as I might be right now, I got to give them full credit for that.
Yeah, Tanner, what are your initial thoughts on what we witnessed on Sunday?
First off, the crowd was phenomenal. They were there till the end. I didn't see too many empty seats going into overtime. There wasn't too many guys leaving. I felt pretty good about the environment that Arrowhead brought, which is awesome to see despite the way the season's been. So shout out to Arrowhead and the fans for sticking through that there. So
well, you're used to KU, Tanner. Everyone's leaving there at halftime, so I'm sure for you it was pretty crazy to see fans actually stick around and watch a full game.
Well, when your team's good, and it has been good.
Wait a minute, I thought KU was supposed to be good. I thought you guys started off 2-0, and it was a good.
Yeah, we were supposed to be good, but we aren't, and we've never have been since 08.
And then all of a sudden, everyone's leaving early. That's unfortunate. Anyways, go ahead with your.
It is what it is. Don't worry. I know your Tech team that you switched from Mizzou to Tech is pretty good. So
I got two teams, man. That's the glorious
Mizzou, part. Stop. We're not claiming Mizzou here. Okay.
Hey, it's just college football. I'm gonna let him get away with that. I got two teams in the NBA, so why can't he have two teams in college?
We're not going to talk about it today, so we don't have enough time. Okay. Overall, look, we pounded the ball, right? Is what we did. I did feel there was a little bit better momentum in the offensive side. Spags did not repeat what he did last week, which was let your D-line rush themselves and no blitz. He had to put pressure out there. It's what he's going to have to freaking do on this defense, and it's unfortunate. So, you can't let Chris Jones, who probably, I'm sure the announcer, Romo or whoever, probably said he had one of his best games again. 2 weeks in a row, whatever. I don't care. It's unfortunate the way that it ended up being. No sacks, right, Mike? No sacks. No Big Macs for sacks.
No sacks in this game. No Big Mac sack for anybody.
Yeah. So, overall, defense played phenomenal. It's containing Jonathan Taylor. It ain't no small feat. Pittman held under as well as 50.5, which I had that bet out there too. Overall, I really felt the Chiefs defense came through pretty solid. The Chiefs offense could be better. They could be more consistent. They could not stall drives. And, for those out there that like to blame refs for anything at all, it's dumb. It sucks. It's stupid. It's going to happen. But, man, when we stall a drive, it's bad. So,
real quick, Tanner, I wanted to bring up, so in this game, did you realize, something the announcers were talking about during the game was the fact that Colts had 31 drives in a row where they scored, I think it was a touchdown, 31 drives in a row in the red zone or goal-to-go situations, whatever it may be, something along those lines, where they scored a touchdown, which I guess they're coming up with some kind of a record. And the Chiefs actually were the team to stop that finally at that point.
Wow.
But, it got me thinking, just about the idea that, the Colts obviously have been this success. It's part of the why they've been this great this season, obviously. But this successful inside the red zone has been the fact that they're efficient in the red zone with the running game and the passing game combined between, what they had with Warren, tight end, Michael Pittman Jr., and then, of course, Jonathan Taylor, of course, the main show of everything. But, that's crazy because the Chiefs' biggest weakness, in my opinion, is our red zone. For some reason, red zone offense for the Chiefs gets really difficult. Once you get them inside the 15-yard line, it's like everything for them becomes overcomplicated for whatever reason. Instead of just doing the natural type of shit, everything's so confusing. And I do miss the days of, I listened to the Priest Holmes podcast. Those of you who don't know about this, Priest Holmes has his own podcast nowadays, which is actually a good listen. I listened to him and Jason Dunn talk earlier. And, I miss those days of the 02, 03, 04 offense because that was the best red zone offense I've seen ever, where it was so consistent. You knew what you were going to get. You got inside the red zone every damn time. It was going to be some kind of success. Even if it was a Morton Anderson 38-yard field goal, you were going to score points no matter what. But most often, you were going to get a Priest Holmes touchdown, Tony Gonzalez touchdown. Somebody was going to get open at some point. There was a formula for their success in the red zone that this Chiefs team currently cannot figure out. They cannot figure out what works, even though we have the best tight end of all time. You have a running back like Kareem Hunt, who's a bulldozer. You have Rashee Rice, who had a great game, by the way, but guy that can be consistent and get open. It's like, for some reason, we just can't figure it out in the red zone with this team. But between the 20s, by God, we can move the ball with the best of them. And so that's the biggest issue with the Chiefs, in my opinion, is with everything condenses down, is where is that ability to just have that fire to just freaking push it in, man. Just, the end of the regulation. Tanner, the end of the regulation was probably the most frustrating thing I've seen all year long. You got down to the 2-yard line, you had 3 plays, and you can't score. You end up with a field goal, and then maybe you could have lost the game at that point. When you were down,
you still had, what was it, 18 seconds? That's still a player.
Yeah,
you can make it happen.
You got down to the 2-yard line. Do you know that the 03 Chiefs offense, they would have scored in that, right? They would have scored a touchdown, right?
Yeah. But
guaranteed.
18
I promise
seconds. 18, it was like 18 or something like seconds.
Well, Tanner, it was
decided to let the clock run.
It was actually 24 seconds.
24,
because that first play was a stupid jet sweep to Rashee Rice that should have never been called in the first place. You're putting yourself in a bad situation by calling that play. He gets stopped. You forced yourself into a timeout. That's where the 18 seconds comes into play. You had 24 seconds actually with the 2-yard line. Like, just, dude, the 03-04 Chiefs offense would have 100,000% scored a touchdown in that situation. I promise you right now. And somehow Andy Reid, who some say is the greatest coach of all time, is our greatest coach of all time. And this offense currently, with the best quarterback we've ever had, with some of the best receivers we've ever had, can't figure it out. You know what I mean? It's freaking wild. And so, anyways, I just wanted to bring that point up. But Tanner, go ahead and continue with all your thoughts.
I mean, no, that's pretty much. I was going to talk about that final drive too, where I was very frustrated. I think I told you too. I go, what are we doing? Like, why are we kicking the field goal? What are we doing? There's still time. Go for the dub. Like, why are we not going for the dub? Instead, we set up for the field goal, and then got our defense showed up again. But holy cow, where's the aggressiveness? Where's the, like Jason said, where's the want? Where's the want? I didn't feel it.
The play calling the last few weeks has been so inexplicably weird anyway. Like who doesn't want to see Clyde Edwards-Helaire get the ball out of the shotgun? Like, let's do a handoff to Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the shotgun, right? Like, who doesn't want to see that? I want to see that, dude, because I'm pessimistic anyway. I know they're not doing shit this year. So keep running that play more often. I like that. But yeah, they're just, the play calling doesn't make any sense. I mean, and we all know, like, Andy Reid likes to, keep all of his magical plays. He likes to save those and pull them out later. Well, dude, your season's almost over. Just freaking use them, man. Like, let's get out of this freaking stupid, all of this vanilla offense, whatever the heck you want to run, man. Like, just give up, man.
Funny enough, the staff is trying to confuse the fans right now because we've known all along Andy Reid calls the plays, right? Well, Andy Reid in his press conference gave all the credit to Matt Nagy as the play caller. He said,
probably did let him call it.
He said Matt Nagy was the one calling the plays.
I believe it, actually.
Based on his usage of words, He didn't say that verbatim, but what I'm saying is, if you listen to his press conference, he said Matt Nagy did a great job, calling this and that, that kind of thing. So now we're all sitting here like, who the fuck's calling plays on a day-to-day basis?
I think he probably is calling the plays, and I think at some point Andy's going to take over. But it's like doing
Andy might have
weird...
already. This might have been the game where Nagy took over. We don't know.
Yeah.
I think Andy was calling the plays all along throughout the year. And then maybe this week is finally the week where Nagy was calling some plays. I don't know, but that's the stupid part about the situation. You got this head coach OC dynamic where we don't know who the hell's calling plays, who's to take blame for or success. We don't know, because Andy keeps it very much closed doors, other than this very subtle, Nagy did a good job calling these plays today. It's like, since when? Since when has that been the case? And, we just get that in a very short one-sentence press conference type of situation, So anyways, I think that's frustrating. And part of the reason why last week, you guys listened to the show last week, I said, bring in some new faces and new ideas, because I want some guys to come in here and supplant that. I want some guys to come in here and actually call plays that are totally different from the current scheme we're currently running. That's the way I see it offensively. We're sitting here complaining about the offense, even though the offense should be, the saving grace of this team. But the last 5 drives of that last game against the Colts, it was the defense forcing 3 and outs. Drew Tranquill with a freaking awesome tackle for loss on Jonathan Taylor in that game. That was badass. That's the kind of stuff now we're relying on. Steve Spagnuolo came up with a great game plan there at the end. Hey, we shut down Jonathan Taylor, you guys. The best running back in the NFL, in my opinion, other than Jahmyr Gibbs. I think JT's right up there.
I think Taylor's right there, man.
I think JT's right there with Jahmyr Gibbs. But the Chiefs shut him down, guys. That's awesome. Kudos to Steve Spagnuolo. And like I said, the linebackers last week is what I talked about. Leo Chenal, Drew Tranquill, Nick Bolton. All those guys came to play and made plays in big time. And I thought that was awesome.
Spags forced Daniel Jones to go win a game. And that's the beauty of the way Spags works. That's what he should have done last week. Force Bo Nix to go win a game with pressure in his face. That's what he did against Daniel Jones, but we couldn't do that against Josh Allen. And we didn't do that against Bo Nix. I love what I saw this past week.
It's simple, guys. And that's the thing. Daniel Jones, whenever we were rushing 4, had all day, would complete passes, hit Tyler Warren, hit Michael Pittman, whatever the case may be.
Pierce. Yeah.
And hit Alex Pierce, whatever. But the second that it came to crucial situations on 3rd down, we're sitting up there in the stands, and me, you, and CDOS are all standing there going, blitz his ass, blitz his ass, blitz his ass. And Spags, every single time,
he did it.
Was blitzing his ass. And guess what? It worked. All of a sudden, the Colts can't run an offense because Daniel Jones is pressured and throwing horrible passes. This is a very simple situation. It's unfortunate you have to blitz because our D-line is so fucking shitty. But I'm telling you, what works is literally blitzing. Every single time it works. And that's what Spags failed to do in that previous game that we all complained about for a minute there. But at the same time, guys, as we said last week, Spags is our best coordinator in the history of this franchise and should be a Hall of Fame coordinator because he might make a mistake here and there, as we all do. Yes, Tom Brady made mistakes.
You're human.
Quarterback of all time. Steve Spagnuolo will make a mistake from time to time and not call the right plays. And yes, he called a Bob Sutton defense 2 weeks ago. Okay? That doesn't mean he's Bob Sutton. Spags was Spags once again when shit really mattered against the Colts. And so,
it's 58 yards, Hunter. So not quite your 66 you were hoping for. 58 yards.
Talking about the JT numbers. I mean, that's phenomenal. I don't know what his lowest total of the year
was. He was hoping for a start number, to pop up here. So that's
I
what he was
really that's 60. Oh, was that? Yeah. Total 60. I don't know. Whatever. It was one of JT's lowest totals of the entire year. I promise you that. So, anyways, guys, we have our issues, obviously, with this team. This team is interesting. I think last year's team was actually worse to watch in some ways because it was every game was such a struggle, and this game was a struggle too. But I felt like there was something, at least with the offense, that they finally gave in. Andy Reid rushing Kareem Hunt 30 times was finally something breaking through with could it be Matt Nagy? Maybe that's why we saw that. Maybe that's what Andy Reid was alluding to in some ways. And yeah, Kareem Hunt averaged only 3.5 yards a carry, but at the same time, it's like we needed to force this issue, force the issue of running the ball and pounding the rock, and good things will happen. And we have a lot to work on still. Isaiah Pacheco's coming back this week, I think, but I'm still enjoying this season honestly more than I enjoyed last season from the regular season standpoint. I still think that there's some things this year that could be figured out before it's too late to get this thing turned around better. So anyway, JG, do you have any other thoughts?
No, man, I think I got kind of sick and tired of listening to people make a big deal about like Travis Kelce giving Kareem Hunt a big hug on the sidelines after he fumbled the ball. And I'm just like, man, you're the leader on this team. Like, yeah, that's fine. Great. Go give him a hug. But that's your job. I mean, what did you do in this freaking game? You went, 4 for 43? Big freaking deal. Like, I think people just made a bigger deal about it than it needed to be after Kareem Hunt fumbled it. And I'm just like, man, get over it. Like, that's his job to be a leader. Like, that's the expectation every single week. Because, like we talked about last week, I know Tanner doesn't want me to bring it up, but freaking, like, we need some fire out there. And Eric Bieniemy was the guy that would bring the fire and hold people accountable. And that's what I feel like Travis Kelce was doing. He was trying to, make sure that Kareem Hunt's mind was right, make sure that he understood that, hey, we still need you here, and trying to motivate him and stuff. But, like, who's that guy, man? But, like, I want to see Kelce doing that every freaking week, man, because he's the leader out there.
Yeah, no, I actually have not seen that footage personally since we were at the game. So I don't know if the broadcast showed that, but I see no issue with that. First of all, Kareem Hunt has been part of this organization, even though he missed it for a while. Like the love is still there from early on. Patrick Mahomes has talked about this in press conferences. Patrick Mahomes loves Kareem Hunt, you guys. He's talked about it many, many times. And Kareem Hunt has fumbled twice in his freaking career.
And Chiefs career. Chiefs
career. He might have had one in the round.
No. He has 7 fumbles total in his career.
He had what?
7 fumbles total in his career.
2.
He
only has lost 2 in his freaking career.
Both times as a Chief.
Amazing. And
both times the Chiefs won the game. So the Chiefs are 2-0 in games where Kareem Hunt fumbles. But
let's not keep that. Let's calm down.
Look at it that way. But my point is, whenever Kareem Hunt fumbled in that situation, which was very awkward, tumbling over someone, and the ball came loose, it's like, dude, you can't. That's not a traditional fumble. It's not you being careless with the ball or the ball getting punched out by Charles Tillman, Peanut back in the day, Peanut Punch type of a style. Those things, that's not what happened with Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt had just an awkward landing. He might have even thought he was down with the way he was brought down, and then kind of came loose with his arms. But dude, that's the last guy in the world I will ever sit there and blame for a turnover is Kareem Hunt. I know he's blaming himself, and that's why a great leader like Travis Kelce, like you're referring to, could come over there and talk to him, because it's like, dude, Kareem, you've been nothing but great and perfect with handling the football as a Chief. So
I would be mad.
We can't be mad at you, man. We can't be mad at you for a mistake at this point. You know what? The thing is, if that mistake was the coffin or the nail in the coffin for the Chiefs season, then so be it. And let's say, well, good to know. Let's start freaking looking to what we need to do to fix going into next year, obviously at that point. But it wasn't. Luckily things came alive. Kareem got first downs when we needed them afterwards. Rashee Rice made big plays there down the stretch of the fourth quarter and overtime. And so, everything worked out okay, But if we had to go down fighting because Kareem Hunt had a fumble when he's been literally nothing but perfect with his ball handling up to this point for the last multiple seasons as a Chief, I'd be like, well, so be it. So be it. That's what happened. It's not a situation where you have a fumbleitis guy who just constantly fumbles and we're forcing him out there and we know it's bound to happen. No, that's not the case. So, anyways, that's my thoughts on that situation you brought up there with Kelsey and Kareem Hunt. And I think Kareem Hunt deserves a lot of credit for the way he's played this year.
Yeah, and now we'll probably get into this next game coming up, but I think to preview that, we got to get this guy a break, man, because I know I told you guys I want to run the wheels off of Kareem Hunt. Well, I thought we were going to lose. I thought we were going to lose the damn game. So
I thought about
now that we won, I'm like, okay, now moving forward, I don't want to run the wheels off.
During that game, in my mind, while I was at the stadium in my seat, I thought about what you were saying, like run the wheels off of him.
Yeah,
I kept saying that in my mind because we rushed him 30 times, but throughout the game, I'm like, just pound him.
Again, I thought we were going to lose anyway, but now that you've done it and you made it to the next game, it's kind of like every game's a playoff game right now. Now I don't want to run the wheels off him. We got to go running back by committee here because the dude just played an amazing game, and we gotta give him. I don't know how many times you think we need to throw him out there for.
Man, I would hope Isaiah Pacheco is good to go for this game on Thursday, based on the Chiefs report. We also made an addition at running back with Dameon Pierce. And
what do we think about this guy? Like, what are we having high hopes?
Well, here's the thing. With Dameon Pierce, I love the addition because, first of all, Clyde Edwards-Helaire can go back to where he was, which is practice squad. He's a Make-A-Wish Foundation player. I know. I made that joke during the game and got a funny look by somebody in front of me. But no, I love Dameon Pierce as an addition to this team because, you got a guy who has ability to actually break away plays. A guy who had a 92-yard run in his career. He's only 25 years old. He's not the fastest guy in the world, you guys, but he has the abilities, and he's got some patience. He's got some ability to actually be a really good running back with this team in particular, and I've seen a scheme fit. I've seen some of the plays the Texans are running in the past that are very similar to the way the Chiefs have a running style too. And he picked the Chiefs. He had offers from like 8 different teams to go to their organization.
Other playoff contenders.
Yes, and he chose to go to the Chiefs. He knows the situation at hand. I think he saw the situation at hand and was like, he knows he's going to be a part of this committee at this point, but also he can bring something different to the team a little bit. He can also be a kickoff returner, something else to take into account, who's been a really good returner in his career. I'm a fan of this signing. It cost the Chiefs nothing. And we do need depth at running back because we're struggling right now to get by. That's why Kareem Hunt 30 carries. Dameon Pierce is going to be a good addition for this team.
So I sent a message to my Houston guys, right? Just Fans podcast. And I said, hey, what's the deal here? What's the background? Why does this guy get cut? Like, what are we looking at here? And essentially he goes, he could be successful maybe on a new team, new environment, right? Coming to play like ever since Ryan's to become the head coach, he kind of lost his role, right, in the play. But he said he's a really, pretty much up the middle run. He's a straight line kind of guy. So he's not a cutter. Like he's not a cut guy. He's not your elusive guy. He's the guy that's going to go up the middle and take care of business. And I'm like, kind of fits our offense in a way. Like that's the way Kareem Hunt's successful. That's what we want freaking Pacheco to freaking do most times, is just go upwards. So there's could be a positivity there. So it sounds like it was just a lost scheme fit in Houston that we might be able to capitalize on him, or he might just be what he is.
No, I think it's a great body to have in the house. I'm saying this is, first of all, an improvement from Clyde. So make that obvious and well known. Rashard Smith is a guy who still has a lot to prove in this league and honestly is not a running back. Okay. Not yet, anyway. He's not a running back, guys. I just want to put that out there. He doesn't have the proper skill set for a running back yet. And you have a worn down Kareem Hunt and an injured Isaiah Pacheco. You have a fresh-legged Dameon Pierce now coming into the team. Like this could be the kind of thing you need to take some pressure off the other backs in this team and have a true rotation and basically play the hot hand along the way. You know what I mean? I think that's the way you
Hunter,
should
are
do
you
it.
trying to
going
get us to
forward.
get a Hunter? Are you trying to get us a Penn State legend? That's what you're trying to say? Penn State legend in the
Oh.
making?
Oh, he's
Katron
talking
Allen,
about
Katron Allen.
draft picks coming up. No, and then when the draft comes up, I am begging for a freaking running back in the draft. This Damian Pierce signing right now helps us for today, helps us for the next 2 months. But as far as the drafts go, yeah, I want a freaking young running back on this team. I'm like a legit, not a 7th rounder, not Rashard Smith, not a project. I mean, somebody worth a crap. So, but I think this Damian Pierce signing is going to be awesome. Hunter, I understand. I know you say he's good. Sure, he's good, but right now is not the time. That's all.
It's fair.
So, anyways, guys, any other things to talk about before we move on to just a quick Chiefs Cowboys talk?
Let's talk about the damn Cowboys, man. Let's talk about the game.
Fair enough, man. You want to spew first, Tanner? You have something to say about it?
Yeah, I hear a lot of disrespect on the Cowboys, especially on this show. There's a lot of disrespect on this show to the Cowboys, especially early on here. I mean, this team went out and got Logan Williams, Quinton Williams. They got DeMario Overshaw back into play, right? Like they got some guys healthy again. They're Bland's back, like Hooker's back. Like they got some guys, right? So there's some momentum coming in here for the Dallas Cowboys. And they just went out and beat the Eagles after being down 21-0. Beating 24-21, I think it was, in the play. Pickens looks amazing. CD's healthy. Javonte Williams, I mean, he's come alive again, right? And since his big injury there. So, quite frankly, Cowboys are a threat. Cowboys are a threat. I know JG's going to the game. I heard JG gets to go to the game. He's going to be able to be in a standing room there. So I'm anxious to hear kind of what he would say about it. But like, I think Cowboys are a threat, man. This game it's not a cakewalk by any means, and could be very interesting on a short week.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think this game itself, as a football game, is going to be a lot of fun to watch for the fans out there listening, or watching. But I would say I agree with you, man. This is not a cakewalk. It's not an easy game by any means. The Cowboys are a talented team, and man, this is Mahomes' first game in Dallas as a pro. Somehow he's never played in Dallas at this point in his career. I mean, he's been around since 2018 as a starter. And Rashee Rice, by the way, going back to Dallas, he likes to hang out there apparently and drive cars. So we get to experience that and see how that unfolds. But I think for me, the thing that I'm most curious to see how it unfolds is George Pickens and just seeing what a great season he's had to this point, if that continues on against the Chiefs. And I think we're going to see a lot of moonshot throws along the way. I think Spaz is going to dial up his blitzes at the right time. But I think Dak is going to have a lot of, almost like Russell Wilson in a lot of ways in this game, where he's tossing some things up and seeing who can go get it. And George Pickens is an elite receiver, and CeeDee Lamb is an elite receiver at those jump ball situations. We got Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie. Trent McDuffie's only 5'10", on a good day. And you got a couple tall, big receivers going against that. Just saying that could be a problem. McDuffie got beat for a touchdown this previous game as well. Something to watch out for if you're the Chiefs defense. But get that pressure somehow. Got to find a way to get that damn pressure. And if you're the Chiefs offense, dude, you better just wake the hell up. Like, if you're the Chiefs offense right now, there's nothing holding you back at this point. You got Isaiah Pacheco, who's back from his injury, who might not be 100%, but he's at least 90. You got Kareem Hunt, who just gave his freaking heart out for you last week. Probably going to give you 10 touches or so. But otherwise, make a play.
Can I say that our offense makes me afraid that things could turn very badly, very quick for the Chiefs in this game?
I think if the Chiefs fail, it's going to be because of the offense.
Yeah, I think so
that's
too.
where we're at right now. which is horrible to say because this year, going into this year, the idea was the offense was going to be better than we've seen in the last 5 years. Better than we've seen since Tyreek and Sammy Watkins were together, and I don't know if that's going to be the case. But JG, you are going to the game in Dallas, in what is it? Actually, Arlington, Texas. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe it is.
So you're going to be there with your bro. So go ahead and break it down for me, man. What do you think about this game?
Friend of the show.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I've never been in attendance at a Thanksgiving Day NFL game before. So, and obviously this one would be the one that I would pick, after all these years, because it's very interesting. A lot of years it's just like, Dallas doesn't really matter. And then if you go way back, the Chiefs didn't really matter either. So, and now you're in a situation where this is actually a must win for both teams, in my opinion. I know we keep saying over and over again, oh, well, the Chiefs can lose another game. I don't think they can afford to lose this game because, while Dallas, we don't view Dallas as an elite team, I think they're still a really elite offense. And I think that's why you should respect them as being a good team. Tanner, you mentioned the addition of Quinnen Williams there, so they should be a little bit better at stopping the run here. I'm not saying I want to abandon the run, but you got to put up some yards on this defense. And so I don't want it to be like one-sided, just pound the rock all day long, man. I want to torch these guys, and they will allow some points. They're bottom 2 in scoring defense, and they're bottom 4 in pass defense. So I'm ready to launch in this game, and it should be a very fun game to watch. I hope we get some entertainment out of this. I hope it's high scoring, and I hope that Mahomes can turn back into the old Mahomes, where we're not just scampering for first downs all day long. That we're actually gonna launch it, and we're gonna see what this receiving core is really made of, kind of like we saw late in the game against the Colts, but I want to see it for an entire game. And I want to see the receivers come out hot because, again, in a game like this, man, and again, Dallas, their rush defense only gave up 63 yards to the Eagles rushing. So that's very impressive. But we need to just torch these guys, man. You can put up a lot of points on Dallas, and that's what I think it's going to be all about.
I think pipeline-wise, the Chiefs historically have always had a lot of Texas-based players, and we currently do at the moment too. I mean, you got Charles Omenihu, obviously, who went to Texas. You've got Patrick Mahomes, obviously from the Dallas area. Gosh, what are some other ones? Rashee Rice, obviously, SMU. Rashard Smith, SMU once again. There's a lot. I think Nick Bolton's actually from Texas, if I remember right. Anyways, there's a lot of Texas-based players on this team, and so I think it's kind of a homecoming for a lot of these guys. A lot of the guys on this roster to be excited to go out there and invite their family. Who was I watching yesterday after the show? 2 days ago, Mitch Holthus was interviewing. He was all giddy. I think it might have been Rashee Rice. Mitch Holthus asked Rashee Rice if he was going to spend his whole game check on handing out tickets to the game, basically for this Cowboys-Chiefs game. So you're going to see a lot of Chiefs fans there at the game, I would say, for sure. But I think I'm with you with everything you said there. I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the Chiefs' offense making big plays when it matters, and it's going to be a close scoring game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. So, I don't know, man.
How concerned are we with Dallas? And if you guys remember watching previous games, and if you watch a 3:30 game for Dallas and Jerry World, the sunlight is not the friendliest coming through that stadium. And it's supposed to be a nice sunny day down there in Dallas. And how concerned are we from that standpoint where it could bother us going into halftime, if not a little bit after halftime?
I mean, it's going to be like a 1/2 situation. I mean, if the game's at 3:30, here we are Central Time, the sun might be kind of an issue up until
Gonna be an issue.
5 o'clock, I guess. Well, just like the 5 o'clock, I guess, until halftime probably. But I mean, that's not something I really care about. I think it's a poorly designed situation that they put together there. But
Last I heard, they were talking about putting curtains up in that area, and having like automatic curtains, which is kind of weird. But
yeah, I don't know. I think they like it the way that it is. I think the team, like the organization, likes it the way that it is. 'Cause maybe they feel like it gives them an advantage or something. I have no idea, but I think it's gonna be a great game though. The over under is like 52.5, I think. So something along those lines. But
over under for this game here is 52.5. You're right.
so do we have? I know it's Tuesday, you guys. So obviously here we are doing the podcast on a different day than usual. Most of the time, injury reports don't come out this early. Normally, it does initially come out on Wednesdays. Do we have an injury report for Chiefs versus Cowboys right now?
Popping it up here. I do have an injury report here. Let's see here. This is not for that one. Week 13. Week 13. No injury report. Wait, just updated. So Noah Gray, concussion protocol, has not practiced the last 2 days. Trey Smith is going to be out for a while with a low and high ankle sprain. Leo Chenal was limited on Monday, full practice. Everybody else was full practice. Christian Ronald Wallace today is back. He was limited practice today. Looking on the Cowboys side, no Tyler Guyton. Right now, he is dealing with ankle injuries as well. He has not practiced the last 2 days. Sounds like he'll be out this game. Let's see here. Dante Fowler Jr. is limited practice with a shoulder. George Pickens did not practice on Monday. Limited practice today. Turpin, ditto. Deron Bland was full. So yeah, everybody else looks to be full there for the Cowboys. But it sounds like they're also kind of beat up on some sides.
Yeah, and also just holding some players out probably because it's a short week, so that goes into account as well. Like I would say Kareem Hunt probably should be on the injury report for something.
For NBA rest.
He's not. That's the thing. He's not.
He's not. But Isaiah Pacheco is good to go for the game.
Full practice last 2 days. So
that's the idea. So hopefully he comes out playing well. I don't know that I can put a lot of faith into his productivity coming off of that injury. But here we are. We got to take a break from Kareem.
He's going to run 100 miles an hour into somebody.
My two favorite words to say on this show are load management. That's what we need for Kareem Hunt right now.
Well, we got that with Dameon Pierce. I'm saying at least if the Chiefs can get through this game, if Dameon Pierce can catch along quickly, then, guys, we're good to go. That's going to be the guy that's our load management that takes pressure off of both Pacheco and Kareem Hunt is going to be Dameon Pierce. I think this week's too early, too quick to get him into the game right away. But I think that's your guy. You got to go to win this week. If you go to 7-5, I think you're looking really good for the running game going forward. Just to get through the rest of this damn season with managing the health of all these guys. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah,
I like Dameon Pierce as a addition to the Chiefs. I'm looking forward to it to see what we can bring.
I want to see it. That's my thing. I want to see it.
You guys realize? So weirdly enough, 2 years ago he averaged less than 3 yards a carry, and then last year, or in 2024 or whatever, he was like over 7 yards a carry, 7.3 yards a carry, I think. But this rookie year, I think it was around 4.5 or something like that. But
he was solid his rookie year. He was great.
Very much.
I like the guy, dude. I mean, I had him on my fantasy team, like his rookie year, I think it was. And I mean, he obviously at his age, he's got a lot of juice.
Yeah, 25 years old, man. That's going to help a lot, having a guy like that on the team. So anyways, guys, I want to go ahead and make predictions before we move on to the final topic of the day.
Yeah, man, I like the over here. Obviously, like I said, must win for both teams. Let's go with the Chiefs, man. Like I told you guys, the season's over, and it still probably is. But I'm gonna go with one last hurrah here. I'm gonna go with 31-24 Chiefs. That'll get me to the over.
Okay. 31-24 Chiefs to win by a touchdown and an extra point then, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mine for this one, it's a tough call, man. This is not an easy game to pick whatsoever. I had the exact score correctly last week, by the way, those out there listening. But the teams
Just
were reversed.
opposite.
Teams were reversed. So I had 23-20 was my pick last week. Colts to win. I was wrong.
You need to
So-
do that every week, man. We need all the
So-
help we can get.
Well, I thought it was funny. The Chiefs ended up winning 23-20. It just had this the wrong team, right
No,
number.
You just
so-
need to pick the Chiefs to lose every week because that'll help them.
Well, yeah, the thing is, despite the fact the Chiefs struggled to score 23 points in overtime with 91 plays total ran, I'm looking at this game and I'm saying this Cowboys team just came back from 21-0 against the Eagles to get a win, to beat the Eagles. I don't know that this Chiefs team currently could come back from that much of a deficit. That would surprise me, as a matter of fact. And so I look at this game, and Cowboys are at home, and they're still fighting their own playoff bout. And I think the Cowboys take a win here over the Chiefs. I think we finally see the fall of the Chiefs, and we start questioning. You can only lose one more game, and the assumption will be we will lose one more game. The good news is the rest of the schedule is against AFC opponents. You play the Texans and Titans, and you play the Chargers and Broncos and Raiders. So the good news is the rest of your schedule is against AFC opponents, which means if you can win all of the rest of those games, then you're probably going to make it in. So your last loss you can afford to have is right now against the Cowboys. And it's going to have us question everything. But I do have the Cowboys winning 27-24 over the Chiefs.
Yeah, I wouldn't put too much stock into that Eagles win just because it was a divisional game, and those things can always go. I mean, the divisional games are just weird, man. But I think for our sake, as Chiefs fans, I think it's a good thing because they're going to come into this game cocky as hell because they just beat the Super Bowl champs and they have absolutely nothing to prove at this point. I mean, so yeah, I mean, they played great against the Eagles, but the Eagles also in some respects laid an egg against a divisional opponent. So I don't put too much stock into that game. Now, I'm not saying I don't respect the Cowboys. We know they can put up a shitload of points, but I'm just saying like that Eagles game was just kind of, let's move on from that.
Okay. Well, I'm worried about the Cowboys offense. I think Pickens and CeeDee Lamb could have a field day. I like Javonte Williams. He's got experience against the Chiefs too, obviously as the Bronco. And I think Dak is a guy who, if you can't get pressure on him, could have a field day. So whenever you do rush for, which you're going to have to at times throughout the game, you have no choice but to rush for. You're going to find your guy. You're going to find your open option. I think the Chiefs, the only way the Chiefs can get a win in this game is if they get up early on the Cowboys and somehow have a 10-0 lead, which we know the Chiefs don't do. So that's why at the end of the day, I look at this and I think the Cowboys take care of business 27-24. All right, Tanner.
27-24.
Yep.
I got Cowboys 28-17.
It's a blowout, Tanner.
I think we spent a tremendous amount of energy and resource on this Colts win that now we travel on the road to Dallas on a short week. And I think Dallas is not only just riding the momentum coming in versus the Eagles, but they're still riding the emotion of Nealon's deal. So I generally think there's just too much against us right now, and I personally am worried for the Chiefs this week that we get blown out. So I'm going 28. What did I say? 28-17, right? 28-17.
Okay. 20, yeah, 20. Okay, 28-17 is what we're going with. Yeah, 28-17. Okay.
Yep.
So they win by 11, which is crazy because the Chiefs are favored by 3.5, which means it's a
Correct.
14.5 point swing based on your prediction.
I don't think it's going to be a close game.
Crazy.
Whoever wins. I think whichever way it goes, it's not going to be by 3 or 4. I think it's going to be a touchdown or more, and I can see that on both sides.
I disagree with you guys on that. I don't see a blowout whatsoever. I think it's going to be very close.
So you guys, basically, you're saying that we need some help from the refs for the Chiefs to win this game.
Well, if you guys give them enough money, you can make it happen. If Clark Hunt wants to go ahead and give enough money, we can make it happen.
Yeah.
I already sent my Patreon donation for the week, all right? I can't send any more.
Well, you guys know Clark Hunt has a lot of Dallas ties, right?
Well, we need to get a hold of Chauncey Billups and whoever that other guy was in the NBA that can contact these people in sports and get a hold of the white hat to make it happen.
All right. Well, we'll see how it unfolds. Looking forward to the game. I don't know where I'm going to watch the game yet. I think I'm going to go hang out with my parents. Obviously live in Colorado. I'm going to go to Lawrence and meet my grandma out there to hang out for a couple hours around noon. But then coming back to town, I will find somewhere around town to watch the game is my plan. So that is my Thanksgiving plans. I'm cool with that. All I really care about is watching the damn Chiefs game. So that makes it a good day for me.
Yeah. By the way, Tanner, did you hear that Chauncey Billups pled not guilty to his illegal poker scheme?
I did not. Hear about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just fake news, man.
A lot of people plead not guilty to things. It's easy to plead not guilty, you know. And just,
wow.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It wasn't.
Miss Scusi. Didn't do it. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the last topic of the night. The
easy money bet of the week.
Easy money bet of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
You got the stats. Let us know.
You got the stats here. Of course, it is 50-50 week for us guys as a total. I had Bills -6, and the Bills decided to just go take a dump in the toilet instead. So that was a loss there. Of course, I didn't have much to look at. My bad. Sorry. We'll be better this week. I got a good lineup for you guys this week. JG coming in clutch. Get that dub. Plus 3.5 on the Cowboys. Cowboys came back, took care of business against the Eagles here. Got JG a dub. It's impressive, man. It's actually really impressive this year what you've done. Mike, Chiefs Colts under 50.5. What a hit. Bucks Rams over 49.5. What a loss.
Dude,
obviously
Baker hurt. What?
Baker hurt. Sucks. Teddy Bridgewater looked like a retired bum.
Yeah, he looked bad. It was really bad.
I don't know why they brought him in instead of just putting Kyle Trask in. So
should have found a way to get Tyrod Taylor back in there.
Well, all I gotta tell them is they better figure it out because I need Egbuka this week. So let's get it going. Let's get it going there. So it's 50-50 week, guys. 2 for 2. Right now for the week here or for the year, going into week 13. JG 6-7. Hunter, are you still watching? 6-7 for the year. Get it going, JG. Mike, you're 9-10. I'm 7 for 16 here. 22-33 for the Buffoons at 40% win percentage.
Guys, you know the goal. Always 60%. But, hey, it's the season's running low, but we can get back to at least 50% as a group. I'm still aiming for 60 myself, but we'll see.
All I know is this week's going to make or break officially my year. So,
okay.
That's all I know.
All right. Well, that's the stats for you guys out there. It's not been our best year by any means. It's been an ugly year in a lot of ways.
I felt so much better last year than I do this year. I had a great start. You know, I don't mind hitting one out of two all week long. When you start hitting a really cold streak in the middle of the freaking season, kills you.
All right. Well, who's going first here? We got JG go first.
Not me.
All right,
I'm
man.
last.
So we got the. Does he want to go first?
No, I do not. No.
He
You,
does not
JG.
want to go first because he knows he's going to lose anyway. So he's going to go last. All right. I'm looking at this Chargers versus Raiders game, man. And normally when I see these spreads that are like -10, -13, normally I would go against the losing team to cover or the less favored team to cover, especially in the divisional game like this. But I just don't believe in it this time. Chargers are -9.5. Coming off that ugly loss in week 11 against the Jags, coming off the bye week. And I think they have a lot to prove in this game. I understand their record is still pretty good here, but they got freaking embarrassed, man. So I think they're kind of having an identity crisis right now. And why not come back after a bye week and take it out on the Raiders? The Raiders are going to basically tuck their tail between their legs and go home after this game. So, yeah, give me the Chargers -9.5.
All right, Tanner, jot it down. Chargers -9.5.
Got it down, baby.
So your only pick for the day?
That's it, man.
All right, guys. I got something I don't think I've done before. I don't think I've ever done 4 picks in one show, but I got 4 mother effing picks for you guys right now. So, Tanner, get your computer ready to put these in. All right. And the best part is it's literally a Thanksgiving package. I'm giving you all 4 games. Right, that's right. $500 with a bullshit.
Let's go.
4 picks right now on this. What's funny, this is the best part. We're going to know if I'm right or wrong by the end of Friday night because all 4 of my picks are on the next 4 games coming up on the schedule. So, first one, just to kick it off, we got Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Time here, Thanksgiving morning. We got Packers and Lions, and I love the freaking Lions 2.5. I know people right now are a little down the Lions because they're having some issues defensively, and it's not been ideal as far as that goes. But this Lions team is just too good for me right now, and at home. The main reason is that they're at home against the Packers, who I think the Packers, the beginning of the year, I thought might have had the best defense in the NFL for a minute there. Ended up not quite being the case. They're still a good defense, but no, I think I feel too good about the Lions right now at home. 2.5. Just win the game by a field goal and you make money. That's what I'm saying right now about the Lions game. Chiefs, Cowboys. Now, we just talked about that, guys. What was my official score prediction? I said 27-24, which puts it at how many points? 51. Do the math, guys. So the over-under is 52.5. I got to take the under on Chiefs and Cowboys, which is going to sound crazy because this is probably going to be a pretty wild game. It's going to be very back and forth, evenly matched game, in my opinion. But I still like the under at the end of the day to get that done. And Thursday night game, Bengals and Ravens. So the Ravens obviously are kind of getting back to full strength. Bengals are still just kind of fiddling around at the moment, I would say. The spread is 7 on the Ravens and +7 on the Bengals. But no, I'm not betting on that. I'm going with the over-under on this game. I like the over, as a matter of fact, on this game at 51.5 on Bengals and Ravens. So give me that one. Put that one in the books for over 51.5 on that game. I do obviously have the Ravens winning. That is going to be the main reason why that happens.
Joey Burrow's return? Jamar Chase off suspension?
I'm just telling you, it's going to be an over, and the Ravens are going to win. That's all I'm saying. Now, Friday, this is going to be a fun game, guys, at 2 p.m. So hope you guys can get off work early or go jack off or whatever you got to be doing to make sure you have free time. the Eagles and Bears. Bears are 8-3, guys. Don't forget about that. The Bears are 8-3. Look like a really good team. But the over-under is 44.5, man. I understand. I understand why. But you have to also understand the explosive abilities of the situation of these teams. I love the over in this situation. I love the over 44.5 in the Eagles and Bears on Friday. I think the Eagles alone could put up 34 on the Bears. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm just saying, at home, the Eagles are a different team. They're a different animal. They're capable of different things. And A.J. Brown wants to run around and whine like a bitch. At some point, you get force-fed and then say, well, there you go. And it might work. It might work. It might end up giving you what you want. So, well, if I go 2-2 this week, Tanner, I'll be right where I am currently on the win-loss record. One loss below wins. But if I can win 3 out of 4, well, there we are. Where I'm getting myself back to that 500 mark, or above 500 mark, I could say. So.
Quite frankly, I love JG's bet. I think what you've dropped in as well. I'm liking what you guys are bringing to the table here for the easy money bets this week. I'm down for it.
I want to do a parlay of all my bets.
I'm thinking about doing the same for mine.
How many bets do you have?
Not a round. What about a round robin? What if about a round robin? Where
that's fine. Do a round robin if you want. I've done those.
You know.
How many? You got 3 bets? You have 3 of them then?
No, you asked me last week. Hey man, because I watched the video right before the show. Hey man, why don't you bet 6 bets so you can try to get up to even? 6 bets.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not doing 6. I'm not doing 6, but I got 5 for you. Okay.
Okay.
I got 5.
Good.
We're gonna start here. We're gonna pop over to Carolina going to the Rams, and we're gonna look at Bryce Young's TD prop, passing yards prop. Right now, it's 194.5. He has hit this in the last 11 games. Only 4 times. Arizona week 2, Miami week 5, Dallas week 6, and Atlanta week 11. When we look here at Bryce Young and what he's done with good defenses, he has not hit this at all. San Francisco last week, 169. We take a look here. New Orleans has a decent defense, 124. Green Bay, 102. The New England Patriots, 150. Okay. It's not pretty. It's not pretty when they play against a good defense. When we take a look here at the Rams defense here, the over has hit 6 out of the 10, but that's their props at the time. We're talking 239.5 for Baker Mayfield, right? Obviously I hit under because he got hurt, but Sam Darnold, 253.5, he hit the over. Mac Jones at 250.5. We're not talking, guys. We're not talking elite quarterbacks. We're not talking starter quarterbacks. We're talking Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers here. Okay. Coming off an embarrassing loss. Their offense has kind of started to die down. No Rico Daddle. So we're taking first bet under 194.5 passing yards for Bryce Young, passing yards going against the Rams this week. Okay. That's bet number 1. We're going to go to the running back position. You mentioned that game already a little bit, Mike. Cincinnati, Baltimore over 51.5. We're going to look at Chase Brown's rushing receiving prop here. Chase Brown's been on a tear. He's hit over this 78.5 mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 against the Pittsburgh twice, New York Jets, Chicago, and New England's defense. New England defense being the highest of the season here. He's hit the over here. And quite frankly, he is part of this offense. He's always been part of this offense. It just took a while to get out of Jake Browning's freaking shadow to get where he needed to be. If we look here at what the Ravens defense has done with running backs in this kind of prop of the rushing receiving, the overs hit 7 out of 10 times. Look, Ravens stink. Their defense stinks. Okay. Give me the over of 78.5 rushing plus receiving yards for Chase Brown with Joey B and Jamar Chase coming back against the Ravens. They're going to have to produce something. They're going to have to do something offensively, and he might get a bunch more receiving. So that's bet number 2. Bet number 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on. Was that
We're
Chase
heading to the
Brown
chart.
rushing or total?
Rushing plus receiving yards.
So total yards for Chase Brown, 70.
Correct. 70. 70. Oh, my Lord. Where's it at? 78.5.
Okay, 78.5. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Lad McConkey coming to play. What a disappointing week last week was for the Chargers, right? 13 total yards. What are you talking about?
Lad McConkey, the Chargers? They had a bye
Jason
week.
just bet him at -9.5 against the Raiders.
No, I'm saying last week. You said last week. You said it was disappointing.
All right, sorry. The week before. Okay, the week before.
Oh,
Jacksonville
okay.
game.
I was like, well,
I'm talking about the Jacksonville
you
game.
put it in fantasy
Quite
points and
frankly-
he didn't play.
Quite frankly, to me, it all mixed up after that horrendous disappointment that the Chargers were. It just carried over through the bye week, okay, for me. So, sorry, I got the wrong week. But still, what a horrendous disappointment going to the bye week. Yes. No. So, you had 13 yards, okay? 13 freaking yards against the Jacksonville Jaguars. But Miami, you were over at 52.5. Indy, Minnesota, Tennessee, and Pitt, you were 5 games straight of over that 52.5 mark, despite Quentin Johnston returning. Okay, now you're going against the Raiders. I don't care what the line is here. We're talking about 8 out of the last 10 players have hit their line on the over. Okay, on the over. The only 2 players that hit the under in the last 10 weeks, Rashee Rice hit the under. He had 42 on a 59.5 line. Jacoby Myers had 39 on a 55.5. Last time he played the Raiders, he only had 48. But you got to remember, too, this was week 2. This was also Quentin Johnston still being a threat in fantasy football. Okay, he was still a threat in the Chargers offense. Lad McConkey will come unleashed here. The line's pretty low here. I'm going to take the over a 52.5 receiving yards for Lad McConkey. Okay.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
That's 3 bets. That's 3 of the NFL. Where'd Jason go?
Gigi had to leave, so he is.
Did he really leave? Oh
He
man, I was
said he
saving
had
these
to go.
last 2 bets for him.
You were gonna do what?
I was saving these last 2 bets for him.
Ladies
and gentlemen,
look, he had to go.
that's fine. You know what? I got you, Mike. You know what it's called? It's called our chat. Guess what? I can lock this chat up here. And now he's going to hear everything I say because I'm going to make sure he hears this. Ladies and gentlemen, it is entering the final weekend of regular season college football. I'd be ashamed not to finish out this season. Yes, I didn't bet it last week. I didn't have time to look. This week I have. This week we got 2 bets for college freaking football going to the final regular season here. I got a big team that Mike will like. He might like, actually. And I got a small team, a small school team, okay? Let's enjoy this here. Oh, boy. We have a game out here that's a 2-point favorite right now. And quite frankly, I love what this team has been brought all season long. This is a team that should have finished last place, projected last place, not to do anything. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking Kennesaw State going to Liberty, and they are 2-point favorites. Kennesaw State currently 8-3. They just beat a Missouri State team that, quite frankly, had a great season themselves last week here. Kennesaw State has been a team to not mess with, and it's been impressive. This is a team that completely got blown out last year all year, and now they are a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at Kennesaw State at -2. I love that line. Liberty has been very disappointing. Kennesaw State here has covered this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the last 10 games. 6 out of the last 10 games. The only teams they haven't covered against is Jacksonville State at -2.5. They lost that game. Jacksonville State is a very good team. Potentially has a chance to make the title game against Western Kentucky this week. New Mexico State, they didn't cover. UTEP, they didn't cover, as well as Indiana. But we all know what Indiana is. Liberty.
Is this a proceed with caution type of a bet, Tanner?
No,
How
not at
confident
all.
are you? Give me a confidence rating because we know how rough it's been for you this year.
I finished 4-1 last week on my college football bets.
But
We're back in action,
off record for the
gentlemen.
record, off record
Correct.
for the record. So I'm just
Off
asking
record for the
you,
record.
this bet you just made. Give me a confidence rating for the people out there listening of where you stand on this bet.
This is a 2-unit bet.
What do you mean 2-unit bet?
I don't care what your unit size is.
Give the public a confidence rating out of 10.
What do you want? What do you want from me? Do you want a percentage?
Units. Everyone's using a fucking unit size, Tanner. Just give me a
I'm at
confidence
69% confidence rating. All right.
There you go.
It's
I'm
nice.
happy with that.
It's a great, nice confidence
Okay,
rating.
is that how you feel? 69%?
Just like all my bets, man. It's
Okay.
a nice bet, man.
Now
It's
we
a nice
know
bet
it.
every
I don't
time.
need to hear, man. I don't need a unit size.
69%.
I'm not here comparing units, Tanner.
Unit size, man. I'm not putting 1 unit down. I'm putting 2 units down on this bet. So
Yeah, that's called a DP.
that it is. Real quick here, Liberty has only covered 2 of their last 10 games, guys. Talk about a disappointing team this is. I put a futures bet in for them to win 9 games, and this team has just completely toileted this freaking season here. Okay, so I'm rolling with Kennesaw State here. Head to head last year, I talk about last year. They were 22.5 dogs. Kennesaw State was, and they ended up winning that game. Again, nothing to think about last year's team. This is a different team. This is a hard-nosed team. Kennesaw State at only -2 is a sin, and I can't believe after the Missouri State game that they're only -2. So we're taking -2, baby. Going on bet 365 -110. We're taking that spread. Next up. Now, Mike, you might actually like this bet because you like the bigger schools. You don't necessarily like these Kennesaw States, these
bigger schools.
James Madison, Jackson
kind of got
State.
me interested in Tulane there for a while this year in the beginning.
But I lost interest real quick on Tulane.
Well, I know I did too. That's why I stopped following your bullshit with college football. And so Tulane was fun for a minute, but so otherwise, yes, I am more of a big school guy. Like I'm an SEC fan. I like all of the big schools for the most part. So go ahead.
Yeah. By the way, Tulane in the playoffs right now, that's a shame. That's such a shame by the CFP right now. And even the head coach is like, I don't understand why we're in the CFP, but whatever. It is what it is. It's a shame. Tulane should not be in there. They're disappointing team. Put James Madison in, put North Texas in. I don't really care. Anybody but Tulane because they are not what they are. Anyways, all right, going back to the bets here. Final bet here of the night here. Bet number 5. Auburn has fired their coach. Auburn cannot play well. They don't play well. They beat Mercer 62-17 last week. Did you know that, Mike? 62-17 against Mercer.
I did not watch that game, but I don't know why first Mercer matters.
Can't say I have either. Outside of that, they pushed against Vanderbilt. They didn't cover against Kentucky. They lost 10-3 to Kentucky. You're looking at Arkansas, which is a crappy team. They barely lost Mizzou. Like this team has not finished well. I am not a big fan of Auburn, and Auburn has not played well. It is at Auburn, so the environment should be there. I mean, this is a big game for them. Right? They're not going to the college playoffs by any means. This is a big game. There's this other team out here that is possibly headed to the college playoff that needs to finish it out, that needs to dominate this game, especially after the big loss to Oklahoma just a couple weeks ago here. Alabama, baby. Alabama. And you believe the line. Mike, if I had to ask you, I know you don't look at these lines here.
I'm not looking
if I had to ask you, what would this Alabama at Auburn line be for you?
So Alabama at Auburn, which is one of the greatest rivalries.
Number 10, Alabama. 9-2 Alabama at 5-6 Auburn.
By the way, I'm a big fan of the quarterback at Alabama. Big fan of Tyler. I think he's going to be a really good player, going pro eventually. If I had to guess the spread on this game, I'm be way off. I'm going to say Bama to win by 17.5 is my
17.5.
That's my guess.
I like that. And you know what? That's respectable. Okay. And I believe that because that's what I would put it at too.
Okay.
I'd put it in that 14.5 to 18.5 point range. Okay. Nah. You know what we're doing? We're popping over to Caesars, baby, at -108. And we're taking Bama at -6. We're taking Bama at -6.
Hold on. 108? Yeah, -108 to take Bama.
-108 on Caesars, -6.
Minus to basically Bama to win by a touchdown. Is that right? Is that what you're basically saying?
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's right now. Dude. If what you're saying is true, that might be the best easy money pick of all time that you just said out loud.
You know what? For witnesses that don't believe me, there you go. You might need to blow it up a little bit, Mike.
I literally said -17.5, and you're telling me the spread. Good.
There you go. That's what I said.
Wow. I'm telling you right now.
-6.
Well, I'm about to get a bonus tomorrow, so I might as well put that all into that game, I guess.
It's a 2-unit day. Okay, it's a 2-unit day.
My work's about to give me a bonus, and speaking of 2 units, I'm about to have 2 units out of my pants after that bet. My goodness. Yeah, that's good stuff right there, man.
Hey, you know what? That's my bet, man.
Well, I don't look at college bets. I don't bet on college anyway. But I do occasionally, recreationally.
Occasionally, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like as far as like my easy money bets, they're always going to be NFL based.
Correct. Now, this is again the last regular season of college football. I felt like I had to make a last couple bets here, and I love these 2 lines. They're low. They're against teams that they should destroy. Like this is where it's at here. So a little recap for everybody because I spoke for a long time. JG -9.5. Mike, you had Lions -2.5 spread. Chiefs Dallas under 52.5.
Make it a fun Thanksgiving. Literally, like if you're okay. How about this? What I'm gonna do personally. So I just bet all games Thanksgiving plus Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually gonna have a small parlay of my picks. I'm probably gonna get one wrong. Just putting it out there. But otherwise, like, just make it a fun Thanksgiving and
that's what I'm doing.
Pick out a couple picks of what I just said, and then make that your Thanksgiving bets. And it's simple stuff. Like I picked the spread and the over-unders is what I liked on this one. You know, something simple to watch. You're not rooting for certain players, rooting for certain things to happen. You know, but I'm gonna do a parlay of all four. And I'm not gonna get crazy. I'm gonna probably bet like $10, something like that, of all 4 to happen at once. And I don't know what I'll win on that, but anyways, that's my idea for the weekend. But the picks I made, yes, I did put research into it. I did look into it. It's not nonsense.
So Lions -2.5, Chiefs Dallas under 52.5, Cincinnati Baltimore over 51.5, and Chicago and Philly over 44.5 for Mike. And then for my recap here, we had Bryce Young under 194.5 passing yards. Chase Brown over 78.5 rushing and receiving yards. Ladd McConkey over 52.5 receiving yards. And then we had Kennesaw State -2 and Bama at -6 is our 5 bets here, ladies and gentlemen. So that's our easy.
That Bama situation right now gets me horny.
I couldn't believe it.
Oh, man.
Like I don't normally go for the big school.
I didn't know anything about this spread. Like, especially the way you laid it out there. And I understand it's an away game, but like, I don't give a fuck. That's
still, man. This is number 10. You have the CFP to play for, and Auburn, who doesn't have a head coach, their team stinks completely. You lost to Kentucky, for God's sakes, and you only scored 3 points. You got to face Bama, who has to stick around and try to make a CFP. Yeah, in the final regular season game, sheesh, man. Give it to me all day.
Yeah, as soon as we get off air here, I'm gonna have to make that bet for sure.
So, but that's our easy money bets here. Let's try with it, baby. Let's go with it. I got a little research done this week here. Feel pretty good about it.
All right. Well, I'm glad you did a lot of different picks, Tanner, because you need to make up for the deficit you're in currently. kind of like what I was doing, what I've been doing all along. I mean, like I said, beginning of this year, man, I was 1-7 this year. It was bad. It was a really rough beginning. My first 3 weeks was horrible. Climbed back. I started making extra bets, more than I normally would. Even this week, 4 bets. I'm trying to get over 500. So you are now at least making 6 bets. If you can win 4 out of 6,
5 bets. 5 bets.
Oh, is it 5 bets? Well, okay. Well, even 3 out of 5, whatever. Win the majority. Get yourself back to where you're climbing back out of that. The goal is, here's the thing, guys. We do this thing until end of January, basically. Super Bowl. We run the easy money picks up until Super Bowl, and which means right now it's still literally November, which means we still have time to climb out of this damn hole. And so that's why I encourage Tanner to go ahead and keep climbing out of that hole, man. And you get some wins this week, and you never know what can happen, man. Maybe you win. Maybe you win all 5.
Quite frankly, what I needed was my Saturday bets to hit to give me a little bit more confidence, make sure I was looking stuff at the right way again, and I feel good walking into it here. This is what I needed last week, or this past weekend. So let's build the momentum. Let's continue to look in the right direction here, and let's get it going. So,
all right, yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Well, JG has left us. He is off to other pastures for the evening, I suppose. But any other final words before we get out of here, Tanner?
Nah, man, it's just it's a nice weekend full of sports. I know you're not a big basketball guy, Mike, right now, but honestly, there's a lot of. I mean, we're about to encounter a lot of good college basketball tomorrow, as well as Thursday. There's a lot of little in-season tournaments that are going on right now. I mean, on top of that, by the way, did you know tomorrow is the first day without football in over 30 days?
Man, I don't know. That's fine, I guess. It's first day without football and over.
Did you realize that? No college football, no NFL.
The MAC shouldn't going on, I guess, anymore.
It's done pretty. I mean, until next week's tournaments
down a little bit. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Now we get into the time of college football where who's going to play, who isn't, and this is where I just lose interest after the regular season's done. I just lose interest because you don't know who's going to play. Like people option, the bowl games aren't fun. Nobody plays in the bowl games.
As far as players go. Yeah,
the conference tournaments aren't fun.
Yeah.
Like it's fun to root for your team if they're in it, but we all know my team's not going to be in it. So
I had this conversation at the Chiefs tailgate with you and Brandon, one of our buddies. He brought up, we were talking about K-State for a minute and talking about Dylan Edwards and how his strange college career has gone between different schools.
So weird, dude.
Doesn't want to participate at times. Like it's almost like he's not really been part of any school for that matter. This is a guy that doesn't really want to be part of anything. It seems like, and it's like you seem like at some point you'd figure out that the NFL, if that's what your plan is to go pro, is not going to like the fact that you fiddled around with all different schools and transferred a bunch of times and was injured and you fumbled and yada, 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 all these flaws, but yeah, you're this great prospect because you're fast. It's like, no. You're about to be out of the NFL. The NFL doesn't care about you, man. At this point, like Dylan Edwards, you are a nobody now. We don't care about you anymore. But I mean, to the point we were trying to bring up, it's like guys who want to opt out of playing in bowl games, and that's
not the same. It's not the same, because of the NIL and all that crap.
It does ruin it. It ruins it a lot for a lot of different reasons. And honestly, I think it hurts prospects more than they realize by doing that. I think the prospect,
unless you're a C-Mac, a Jamar Chase, like unless you're some high-profile item, or like player, like it kills you. It really does.
Sure. Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. did it. He also opted out of the 40. He also didn't run a 40. I don't know, man. It's not my cup of tea. It's not my style of what I know football to be. I encourage everybody who thinks they can go pro and be a top 7 round pick, not an undrafted free agent, to go play in the bowl game, because I think bowl games are also looked at and scrutinized more closely than other games are. You're also going against a team that is very similar to the current team you're playing for. And that has always been a top scouting option for most scouts is to watch those film. That film versus other film is bowl games are important for scouts, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know you risk injury, but like, how cool is it to have the experience to go play in a bowl game? How cool! Like, not everybody gets to do it. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, and on top of that, like,
they don't really care.
No, but and that's the sad thing. It's like I feel like in a way because not everybody gets to do it. Like, how cool would it be? Your NFL career spats out, right? You become some bum in the NFL that doesn't get a job, in the end. But you could be like, hey, I played in that Pop-Tart Bowl. We won in that Pop-Tart Bowl, or something in that matter. Just to be there for your team, and it's just that atmosphere that has been lost now due to the NIL.
Well, I personally think being worried about an injury that badly makes me worried about you as a player. Mm-hmm. Like if I'm a scout, if I'm a team looking, if you're that concerned about an injury, then I'm concerned to put you in and make you a Kareem Hunt, for instance. A guy who takes 30 carries and doesn't give a damn, wants to put his body on the line, I'm concerned about you then as a prospect to say, are you enough, to withstand the brutality of the NFL at times? If you can't go play one more goddamn game against equal competition, which is what the bowl games are all about, right? It's supposed to be equal competition, right? You can't go do that. You'll sit it out. You'd rather not risk injury for the sake of going pro. Meanwhile, you're getting paid in college right now compared to previous generations. You're getting paid right now, in some cases, just as much, if not more, than what you'd be getting paid once you get drafted as a rookie. And if you do have an injury, you're still going to get drafted. I think it's just lame. I think it's lame all the way around. I think it's just lame. I think it's pathetic.
Shame.
I think if you're a high-end player and you are, and you want to set out the combine, set out the pro days, set out all this other stuff just for the sake of like, well, I don't want to put up too many numbers. I don't want to put up extra film. I don't want to do nothing. Just you got to accept me as me. Like, nah. I just think it's so lame. I hate all of that. I'm not a fan. We can dive into that more on a different day, but
yeah. This is why regular season is my chop line. I call it good. So you can't do it nowadays, so.
Yeah, that's fair enough, man. With especially betting, but yeah, I think college get weird with that stuff, and I'm just not a fan of the way that's gone. That direction's gone.
Mike, what's your Thanksgiving side you're looking forward to this weekend, and then a couple of days, I guess?
You said side. What do you mean by side?
Side. So brisket, turkey. Generally that's kind of your main course.
Well,
what's your side you're looking for?
If I was smoking something, I'd be having some ribs, no matter what, man. I'd make some good ribs.
Ribs would be your main course, right?
Well, shoot, man, that might be a main course. I'm gonna have ribs mixed with turkey, maybe. I'm a big turkey fan myself too.
You too.
I make some darn good ribs when I got the chance to. My main side, though, man, you know what? I got a couple different ones that actually I like a lot that a lot of people don't. And I'm a big, actually, based on the way I've had it. Maybe your family or whoever's family doesn't make it the same way that my family has in the past. But some green bean casserole is something I actually really enjoy. And you know what? I hate mushrooms, man. I don't like mushrooms, but they use this, cream of mushroom soup or whatever the hell with the green bean casserole, and of course the onion straws and all that kind of crap. If it's baked properly and all that stuff, man, it ends up being a really, really good dish. I also mac and cheese is everyone's favorite. It seems like as a side, it's good, man. I don't mind mac and cheese.
You got to make it special, right? You can't just craft mac in. You got to make it special.
Got to make it a little different, I would say, without a doubt. Yeah. Now, a lot of people hate stuffing. We had this conversation on this show before about stuffing. I like stuffing. I have no problem.
I love stuffing or dressing. That's what some people call it.
I don't know.
I love it.
Is stuffing a Midwestern thing that we call it,
I
or
think
dressing? Dressing doesn't make sense to me. I've always called it stuffing my entire life.
I've heard it both ways. I've heard dressing more than I have stuffing.
Okay. I don't know, man. I just, we all know what we're talking about, obviously. What other side? I'm not a big dessert guy.
Cheesy corn?
Yeah, cheesy corn. I've had cheesy corn's always good. If that's there, of course.
Deviled eggs. That's always a big one. I think
deviled
I've
eggs
seen.
is a weird one for me. I am very picky about deviled eggs now because I've made some really, really good deviled eggs. What I mean by
You've done buffalo style, I think, right?
I've done a hamburger. I've done bacon cheeseburger, deviled eggs. And so when I just have basic deviled eggs, where it's just like the generic kind,
you pop it in, and that's what you got.
But I get kind of bored with that. Like deviled eggs is good, but like I've made mine to where like I got little crumbles of meat on top and stuff like that. I'm cheating the system on deviled eggs, So when I just go over to somebody's house and they just got some basic ass deviled eggs, I'm like, man, come on, you got to come up with something more fun than that. But deviled eggs is cool. I like deviled eggs. Yeah, honestly, man,
I think you hit majority of them.
People are going to hate that, though, that I said the green bean casserole. I feel like that's going to be a hated comment.
Why?
People don't like green beans, and I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. My brothers don't like anything green to begin with, so it doesn't like if it comes from the ground. You might as well.
Your brothers are straight meat and cheese only boys. They can't handle
ketchup and cheese, man. Ketchup and cheese only, please. Oh man,
yeah, they're special in that way. So that's different from the rest of society. I would say. I like extra flavor, man. I want to see something. Like like C-Dawes told me the other day his favorite beer is a Coors Light. I'm like, I'd be bored in tears if all I drank in my life was Coors Light. God, I would stop drinking. I wouldn't drink at all. So no wonder he gets dry spells where he doesn't drink. I mean, it's easy if you do that.
Just think about the guys that drink Keystone on a normal day.
That sounds like your brothers. But I don't know, man. I think that's probably, I don't know. Unless you recommend, what about you, Tanner? Tell me something maybe I haven't thought about.
No, I was legit gonna say green bean casserole because I didn't think you would. So like I'm a big green bean casserole guy. I love that stuff. The way it's been
made in my life, my family history. Yeah, I'm a fan of it, man.
Crispy, there's cream of mushroom, like the whole shebang. Like I love that stuff. Cheese and potatoes is also really solid.
Scallop potatoes are one of my top.
Yes.
Scallop potatoes, mashed potatoes, of course, but mashed potatoes mixed with the green bean casserole is phenomenal. Like what I'm saying, it's like a little bit of both together. But scallop potatoes is some of my favorite food ever. I love scallop potatoes.
I think you're pretty solid.
A quick shout out to Little Smokies. Little Smokies is my favorite too, man. Big fan of Little Smokies. I'm a big barbecue sauce guy myself. I put barbecue sauce on literally everything I eat. Yes, I have the no sugar barbecue sauce in my fridge right now. I love that stuff. It's super low calorie, but just adds an extra flavor to everything.
So I'm going to share this real quick here with us. Might be a little tough to see, so I'll try to blow it up here. So this is Siena University. Okay, this is their top 10 Thanksgiving sides. Okay, dinner rolls. You got to add the butter with it. Quite frankly, you don't need to add the butter with it. I'm one of those guys that take the little dinner rolls, right? And I open it up. And then I just scoop in the corn, the mashed potatoes, the turkey, whatever I can, basically mush it into a sandwich. And that's how I eat. I don't even need the butter with it.
No, butter's not necessary. I like one dinner roll. So I'm not a big dinner rolls. Like,
I'm like a two guy. I'm a big two guy. Like I need two dinner rolls, but then I scoop everything up. And then after that, it's just, you go for it.
I'm with you on that. I'll do one dinner roll, no butter. I don't need any butter. And then maybe some cheesy corn. I'll add into that dinner roll or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm trying to.
So corn is next. Obviously, corn can go with cheesy corn. I would assume.
Cheesy corn, yeah.
Cheesy corn is always good, man. Cheesy corn is always good. Now, cranberry sauce is very controversial. I'm not a cranberry sauce guy, but some people
I
love
don't
it.
mind it. I don't mind the cranberry stuff.
Not
I don't mind the cranberries at all. I don't mind stuff out of the ground. So for me,
I've
like
never
even
felt
the
it to be
sauce,
necessary on my plate. And the times
it's
I've had it, I just didn't care for it, I guess.
if I gotta find a room, right? So if I'm finding a room, cranberry sauce is getting missed. Okay, plain and simple. It's getting missed.
Yeah.
It's not high priority.
Mashed potatoes, though, is a staple.
Yes.
I mean, you got to have mashed potatoes.
You gotta have some mashed potatoes.
Roasted vegetables, I'm a fan of that. I like me some roasted carrots for sure. That is my number one roasted vegetables, carrots.
For the vegetables part, I'm a big vegetable tray guy. So like if somebody brings a vegetable tray, I will snack on celery sticks, carrots, and broccoli all day, and cauliflower the whole entire time till dinner. I love that stuff.
No,
I don't even need the dip. I'm a dry guy too. I don't even do the dip. I just grab it and go.
All right, next on your list, Tanner, says cornbread.
Cornbread.
Not a fan. Not a fan of cornbread. No.
You know what's weird? So when I was a kid, I hated cornbread. Cornbread stunk. I threw up on cornbread. Like I did not like cornbread. But since my late teens and adult age here, I've grown to adapt. I've grown to like it. I'm okay with cornbread. Cornbread now.
All right. You enjoy it, man. It's just not really my thing as all. Now, the next three I could see. Yeah, sweet potato casserole. Hell yeah. I love sweet potatoes. I got one right now on my stove. I love sweet potatoes, man. Sweet potatoes are the best, man. I fucking love them. These next three, sweet potatoes, mac and cheese, string with the green bean casserole.
Right here.
Same thing.
Look at this. Look what this says. Mac and cheese. I'm not talking about your run-of-the-mill box Kraft mac and cheese. Just like we talked about. It ain't about that. This is like taking your time. I'm talking about a nice, creamy, oven-baked macaroni and cheese with a dusting of breadcrumbs on top. Yes. Fantastic. I don't need the breadcrumbs either, but I'll take the breadcrumbs. But you have to make it such a certain way. It can't just be a freaking Kraft mac and cheese.
Yeah, I think it's funny. The string bean casserole is number 2 on this list because that's what we were talking about earlier. I think is that same thing. I love that stuff, man. When that's made right, it's good stuff. And then, of course, number 1 is stuffing. What's funny is like a lot of people they don't like stuffing. A lot of people are not a fan of stuffing. I actually think
which kind of amazes me.
Stuffing has its purpose, But as a Kansas Cityan, though, I will say, as much as I love turkey, I think if you have a smoker and you have a family, I would be making that family a bunch of ribs instead of turkey. That's what I'd be doing, man. Or brisket. I was smoking some brisket or something like that. Like I would be doing that instead of turkey because people put these turkeys in the damn oven and they take all damn day, right? Why not just get yourself a smoker out and make some meat? It's as a Kansas Cityan, as a Midwest boy, dude, we all love brisket. We all love smoked meat.
A little pulled pork, man, goes a long ways.
I think all the other rest of the part of the country on the coast, you go do their own thing. Us in the Midwest need to be making barbecue. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm down for it. I don't mind it at all. That's usually about Christmas.
Make barbecue with elite sides. And basically, you got your smoke master running the ship. And then you got your brother or your wife or whatever the case may be doing all the sides. Boom. You got it down. I think that's the way to do it. As a true Midwestern person myself, that's the way you should do it. Because let the people on the coast, because I guarantee you people on the East Coast are probably making some seafood stuff, which is fine. Do your seafood. But I think we should break away from the norm every once in a while. You can even smoke a turkey even if you want to. But I'm saying we're known for our brisket and ribs and all that kind of stuff. So pork,
I'm always down for it.
Smoke it.
I don't mind something different here. Frankly, I know I'm bringing General. I'll bring this with me. My buddy made some deer jerky. And it's always a great Midwestern thing to have some deer jerky around you because it's a good snack to have in case you need it.
Yeah. And it's very lean. It's good for you.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna hurt anything. So I'm a
Nope,
fan of that.
not at all. So, but yeah, that's I just wanted to bring some Thanksgiving topic up here before we get out of here. So,
All right, man. Well, it's been almost a 2-hour show. So what else can we say? What else can we say? This might be one of the longest shows we ever had. JG,
no, it's not. It's not.
yeah. Our longest of all time was 2 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 2:15, I believe it was.
Yeah, well, we're close. To
That was about a couple years ago. I think we were in one of your old departments. So, when we did that.
Oh, back in those old days where people that are watching should never go back and watch again.
we tried to green screen and videos from the previous episode was playing.
Would not recommend. I mean, I would recommend this for laughs and giggles, but otherwise, probably not a good idea.
Good time. So, all right, man, we'll get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you all for hanging out and watching us. And I hope if you guys had the day off work or whatever the case may be, and you've been listening to us, you have a great freaking day. And I know this has been just kind of a random show for the most part, but let's just say I hope that my prediction and Tanner's prediction for the game is wrong.
That's all I
can say. So, anyways, I
I
will see you all on the next one.
have a happy
Outro.
Thanksgiving, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it. Hopefully be with your family, friends, whatever it might be. Enjoy the football, the basketball. A lot of great stuff going on, the hockey. So we'll see you guys.